Hi, if you're a woman in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, maybe consider joining us for the next few weeks as we look forward to our holiday survival guide for midlife. This season of life can be really tricky for a lot of us. We're in between raising a family and aging parents. The holidays are busy, there's hustle and bustle, politics are involved, budgets, expectations, our focus, and managing all of these things can get a little stressful. We lose track of the reason for the season. So, why do the holidays feel so stressful in midlife? What can we expect? In future episodes, we'll go deeper into family boundaries, food, our body health, mental health, self care, budget, traditions, and how to manage those tough conversations around the dinner table. You're the expert on you. So, as we prepare for these last 7 weeks of the year, how can we end strong? What's most important to you? What are you able to let go of? What will you ensure still happens?
So Jen, this has been quite the little journey that we're having for this particular video today. It's just supposed to be a quick, nice little intro to kick off our holiday season. But I have to go and be complicated and have very weak internet here up in Michigan. So we have been recording, re-recording, trying to re-record. So now we are doing a little bit something different. So you may notice that we go back and forth with our answers as we've recorded this probably 10 times by now. So we have this conversation down pat. Jen, I can hardly believe there's only 7 weeks left of the year. Looking forward to the new year, but also looking forward to finishing out 2025 as strong as possible, sticking with the goals that I have put in place for myself. So I'm excited about this holiday survival guide. We've broken down many meaty topics down into smaller, shorter podcast versions that I think that people will find enjoyable, thought-provoking, maybe get some ideas on some things that might help them this holiday season. If not, they'll enjoy our stories and our banter. So we look forward to that. I guess what I'm interested in is also finding out, what are our listeners? What are they most concerned about? What are they worried about for the holiday season? What are their pain points? But then what are the things that they're so excited about that they look forward to the most? The conversation. And I know that I am probably not alone when it comes to a little unease about how to handle family situations at this time of year. So if anybody has any thoughts or anything they've tried, please leave it in the comments. I would love to get any input or any advice on that one. What are you stressed about? What are you uneasy about for the holiday season? And also, what are you looking forward to?
What am I dreading most? I shouldn't even say dreading. What am I uneasy about coming up this holiday season? Honestly, there's quite a few things. Thinking that everything has to be done, that the house has to be perfect, that the kids have to be perfect, that women are the anchor, we are the peacekeeper, the planner, the holiday manager. We're handling the logistics of what needs to be done, how does it get done, where are we driving to, who needs to be where, what gifts need to be brought, what food needs to be prepared. All of that, I think, tends to fall on women in midlife. I also have the emotional pressure, the health goals that I've set for myself for the holiday season to not gain weight. Yet all of a sudden, here's all my favorite foods and the emotional guilt that maybe I wasn't the best holiday manager. And so now I might want to eat those feelings. So I don't really like that. I get uneasy about having the photo taken in case I don't look right, in case you can see all of my chins, my wrinkles. Did the outfit not flatter me as much as I had hoped? Those dumb things that are just in my head that add to the uneasiness of the season. Also, probably, I'm going to have to say the finances. Looking for that perfect gift, wanting to spend whatever it takes to provide that perfect experience, yet knowing deep down it's one day and one gift, and that's not really what I should be focusing on or spending time on. So those type of those type of feelings and thoughts around the gift giving of this time of year definitely make me uneasy. Another thing that comes up is the reason of the season, wanting to be at church, to remember the birth of Jesus, to also kind of look forward to an anticipation what all of that meant back then and what it means to me now. But honestly, there are times that kind of goes to the back burner, and then there's more guilt around that as well, of feeling like, oh my gosh, we don't have time to go to a service right now. And although we should be out singing and worshiping and Christmas caroling and all of that, it just becomes this major to-do list, and that really makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me feel bad, because that's not what I want the season to be about, and that's not what I want my family to remember about this time of year. And let's not forget women in midlife that could possibly be dealing with perimenopause and menopausal symptoms. Have you not been sleeping well? And now that's coming out is a little bit cranky towards our family and our guests, and we don't want that. Some women might be worried about profusely sweating, or all of a sudden having a hot flash in the middle of your family dinner, and what that will look like. There might be that joint pain, the anxiety and the worry that just pop out of nowhere, or just the emotions that can be already so heightened, and now we throw that menopause into it. There's so much to be looking forward to this time of year, but trying to find balance and controlling what we can, and not letting those what ifs take us down the wrong path.
So when I think about what I'm most excited about for the holiday season, it's definitely the tree tradition. We always get a real tree, and we go on the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and we go pick out our Christmas tree, and then we go home and we decorate it. And it just feels like such a wonderful way to get the holidays started. And I'm so happy that my daughter still is interested in doing that with us. So it feels that part, there's so many things that have changed with her, but yet that one stays the same, and I'm very happy about that one.
I'm looking forward to most this holiday season. Honestly, of course, I just love family. I love getting together with everyone. We have a tradition every Christmas Eve to go to my in-laws' house, and we just play games. We do a white elephant. We eat a ton of food and bring all of our favorites. We open a few gifts, but then on our way home, we drive around and look at Christmas lights. Occasionally we do that prior to Christmas Eve, but ever since my husband and I were dating, that was one of the traditions that we did. And so we love to just drive through neighborhoods where all of the homes have lights attaching to the next, or finding a local place in the city or in a neighboring suburb that also has a lot of lights going on. I also love ice skating and sledding. I'm not really a skier, although my children and husband love that, and snowboarding. I don't really like being cold, so I prefer to be, bundled up with a hot cocoa. But going sledding, finding jumps and hills and seeing how many kids we can pile onto a sled together, those are some of my favorite winter, traditions. Really looking forward to doing that. However, this New Year's, as I mentioned, my son will be moving to Arizona, and so this Christmas, I'm pretty sure there's no sledding in Arizona, but I'm not sure. Will they have ice skating? Do they wrap Christmas lights around cactuses? I'm not sure. I guess I will be looking forward to some new experiences, new environments, maybe a warm Christmas instead of a white Christmas, as well as getting to know my new daughter-in-law's family over the holidays. And most excited am I looking forward to being with our granddaughter. It's been quite a few months since I've been able to squeeze her in person, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing sweet little Noah James.
So what I'm not looking forward to is the discussion around the holiday table of world politics. There are times when it can get a little heated. for my taste. They tend to like the banter and talk. I don't enjoy it as much. And considering I'm going to be spending most of the time in the kitchen doing the cooking, I look forward to having a much more peaceful table conversation. So for me, I need to come up with a way to kind of discuss with my family the fact that I would like that conversation to not be at the table while we're eating. They can have that conversation while they're snacking and watching TV and waiting for food. But for me, my one request would be to table the conversation. And I know that I am probably not alone when it comes to a little unease about how to handle family situations at this time of year. So if anybody has any thoughts or anything they've tried, please leave it in the comments. I would love to get any input or any advice on that one. You know, Jen, I think the one thing about the holiday season in midlife is that, as you said earlier, this isn't our first time around. We pretty much have a good idea of how the days, the events will roll out. So we have this opportunity now because we are right now, we're not in the heated moment of the holidays yet. I know many people start very soon. They start decorating in early November, and you know, God bless them. I wish that I was one of those people, but I get a real Christmas tree, and that thing would be a Charlie Brown tree by Thanksgiving. So look in the show notes for our PDF. It's just a few short questions for you to start to consider what's coming up, what's important to you, what are the traditions that you're most excited about, maybe what are the ones that maybe they're evolving, maybe you've decided that your kids have outgrown it or you just aren't interested in doing it. You know, it's okay to say goodbye, and it's okay to say goodbye to things and then be welcome in new traditions as our families evolve. That's the beauty of this particular age when we have our children who are growing up and moving on and creating families of their own. We have the opportunity to make holidays be something different for our friends and our family. And if we can switch the way we're looking at things from being sad about seeing the elf on the shelf go to realizing, oh good, I don't have to come up with the crazy elf on the shelf ideas anymore. So we hope that you have enjoyed this quick introduction of the series that we have coming to you for the holiday season. Jen and I have lots of stories and experiences that we like to share, and we hope that maybe one or two of them resonate with you and get you thinking about some things that you might want to try or change or tweak or just take us on a walk and listen to. We will be having Jen's Coaching Corner coming up right after the end, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week and enjoy this beautiful holiday season.
Let's talk about the one sentence I hear every year. I'll start again after the holidays. And if that sounds familiar, stay with me. I'm Jen, and welcome to this week's Coaching Corner. Here's the thing. The holidays are not the problem. Neither are the cookies or the parties or your schedule. The problem is the story that we tell ourselves, that the holidays are our free pass to disconnect from our bodies, our habits, and our goals. But what's left of this season is only about 6 weeks long. But that could be 6 weeks of overeating, overdrinking, under-prioritizing ourselves, and all of that can add up to 6 weeks of inflammation, exhaustion, and a lot of disappointment. And then by January, we're not starting over. We're just recovering. So instead of saying, I'll get back on track later, let's shift it. Let's change the perspective and start saying, I matter during the holidays too. My goals don't go on pause just because it's the holidays. I can enjoy the season without giving up on myself. You don't need perfection. You don't need to have total restriction. And you definitely don't need to say no to every dessert or every celebration that you're invited to this time of year. However, you do need a little bit of intention. And that might just look like drinking your water before going to an event, stopping at Satisfied, not waiting till we're stuffed, going for a walk instead of collapsing on the couch, or choosing healthy, nourishing food most of the time in order to indulge the rest. And it would also be okay to just say no to some of those pressures that we put on ourselves that really aren't going to be missed. Maybe we just throw presents in a gift bag instead of wrapping them, or not send out cards this year. This season, choose to be the woman who shows up for herself, not just in January for New Year's resolutions, but starting today. So ask yourself, am I making a choice or am I making an excuse? This year, choose you. Let's be proud of ourselves as we head into 2026 and finish the year strong.